Welcome back to the channel. Racer X here, and today's video should be really cool. This is a video that I've been trying to get shot for you guys for months, and today it is finally going to happen. Many of you guys know I live in the Tampa area, and 2 hours north of me there's a company called Droptop Customs, and they actually reached out to me a little while back and said, hey, we've got some really cool projects coming up. This is the group that Dodge actually uses to do all of their convertible Challenger conversions, and I want to go up there, see not only how they do their conversions, but also check out a very special project that they've been talking to me for a while now. So today should be an absolute blast. If you guys are brand new to the channel, don't forget, hit subscribe. You can find that button right over here, and off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
It is pretty cool when you can open up your garage and see like 2200 horsepower just sitting in there chilling.
Hell yes.
And I would love to take the 170 up there today, but you know, it's Florida and just, you never know what's going on with the weather. And of course, I got my little Kia here. So we're gonna hop in this little guy and take the, 140-mile trip on up. So with that said, let's get going. I am on my way to High Springs, Florida, which is where Droptop Customs is located. And I really wanted to show you the entire process, how they cut these cars, what they do to reinforce them, and they will talk about all that with us today. But I wanted to give you a brief summary of really how all this works, because Tim Kuniskis, the CEO of Dodge, showed us the convertible Challenger at Speed Week last year. That was, what, a year and a half ago.
And you know that we don't build them, but we've been looking at Droptop Customs down in Florida, and we really like what they've been turning out. The product is absolutely amazing.
And they told us right then and there, it was a $26,000 option. Essentially, what you need to do is you go in, you place an order either for an RT, a Scat Pack, or a Hellcat, and they can send it directly to Droptop Customs for 26 grand. You can make your car essentially like a factory convertible. It comes with a full 36,000 mile warranty, all the same stuff you would get from the factory. So despite the fact it's not being done from Dodge, it's just as good as being done from Dodge. And obviously Dodge trusts these guys to do really quality work because it's all being warranted. So obviously this is an important partnership for the Dodge brand. So it should be neat to talk to the owner, learn a little bit about the way they do it, why they do it, and see this custom project they have for us. I have reached Droptop Customs. As you can see right behind me, they got a couple of gorgeous cars. They have all sorts of beautiful cars sitting out here they're getting ready to work on. Let's go run around here a little bit, see if we can find Jeff, the owner of this place, and see what exactly he's got going on today. All right, and we found our man, Jeff. Jeff is the owner of Droptop Customs. So how are you today, my friend?
We're doing well.
It's good to finally meet you. Why don't you tell us a little bit? I've been really looking forward to this video. We've been talking about it a while, and finally we get to come and actually meet up. So tell us a little bit about your company here, Droptop Customs, and what you guys do.
Well, Droptop Customs, we are the oldest aftermarket conversion company in the country, and we do what the factory doesn't do.
Okay.
We take cars that the factory does not offer as a convertible, but the public really wants.
Sure.
And we make them convertibles.
Yeah, and you work pretty extensively with Dodge, obviously, right? So a customer could come and they could either order a Dodge through their dealer, right? And then the dealer will send it right to you guys, or somebody can just have their car sent here, and you guys will do a custom convertible for a customer, correct?
Absolutely. Dodge did a real favor to the customers and made the ordering process very easy. So you can just sit in any dealership, go in there and say, hey, this is a Challenger I want, but I wanted it as a convertible. They change the code, comes right from Brampton to us. We build it and then ship it right back to your dealer.
Yeah, and it's all factory warranted, which I think is super cool, right? So if you really like the convertible, you guys have it. You got the solution, right?
Yes, we do.
Now, I will freely admit I've never been much of a convertible guy, but obviously there are a lot of people that really love their convertibles, and Dodge didn't offer the Challenger as a convertible, as most of you guys know. But just take a look. I've already shown you some of the cars they have. I mean, really, a lot of cars out here. Just take a quick look at all these beautiful. You got Swinger 392s out here. You got tons of different Hellcats, lots of Scat Packs out here. You've got a few RTs. I mean, as far as you can see, look at all these. All of these are awaiting their turn in the factory there to actually get a convertible top put on them. I mean, this is so cool to see. All right, Jeff, so we are actually going to show everybody what the very first stage is when you order a convertible from your company. What actually happens? It gets unloaded, and then you guys come and you do your first step in the process, which is what?
The first thing we'll do an inspection, make sure we don't have any damage from transport. We'll come in and we'll wash our vehicles, make sure that everything's clean when we get started.
Sure.
Then we'll come in and we'll completely strip the interior out. You see everything that comes in is labeled so that the same pieces go back in the car.
Yep.
that came out.
Right, exactly.
Your options are never going to change after it leaves us.
Right.
You take everything out here. We'll take our panel out. One of the things that we really do and is real important to us is we have our own wiring harnesses. So everything that we affect is completely isolated from the car. Takes care of any warranty issues. If you ever have an electrical issue with your car, you have one wire you disconnect, and now you know, hey, it's either factory or it's us.
Right. Well, it makes it a lot easier to fix. If there's ever an electrical gremlin, right? You guys didn't go in and pull a bunch of wires out, do a bunch of cutting. It's just a little plug-in, right?
Absolutely.
And so it's pretty easy to isolate. So that's pretty cool. And to mention, you know, you guys are fully factory warranted, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So what is it, 36,000 mile warranty?
Yeah, 3 year, we match the factory warranty. That's, again, one of the other things that Dodge wanted us to do is make sure that, you know, the warranty is intact. Anything that Dodge affects, they take care of. Anything that's ours, we take care of. But the customer doesn't know.
Got it.
He knows that he's got a car for 3 years fully covered.
Yeah, and you can see real quick what it looks like in here when they start doing the work. And you can see back seats are pulled out, all that good stuff, with the wiring all intact as he mentioned. So once we get done doing this portion of it, what's next?
Well, when we come back in here after we put our wiring in, we have some A-post reinforcement brackets that we put in here. Again, stiffening this, making sure that your A-post is strong. And we put our switches in. We have separate switches for the power quarter windows as well as the power top.
And you can see just how many of these cars are undergoing this process at any one time. It's like a sea of interiors just chilling over here. So one other quick thing, I didn't want to gloss over this, but you do have custom interiors available on your packages as well, right?
Yes, we do. You know, we were talking about the sea of interiors we have.
Yeah.
One of the few options that we offer is an interior package. So this is a very unique design that Catskin came up for us, and it's only available in the convertible. So once you take the top off the car, you get a chance to see what that interior really looks like. So not that many people will want to do a custom interior in a car, then you can't see it.
Right.
But this, I mean, all you have to do is hit the button, top goes back, and you get to
those things are they're gorgeous. Those are really nice.
So we'll offer the white. We have one with red stitching. What's going to go in our special project is the black seat with F8 green stitch.
This exact seat, but the stitching green.
Yes.
Oh man. Those are really nice looking seats. So how much extra is it for one of those packages, for the seat package?
The seat package is $2,500, but we also do the door panels and the center console, so it really gives the car a look.
Oh man.
You know, put the top down, you get a chance to see, especially when you do it in white. You know,
right.
You have the white console, the white door panels, the white seats with matching stitch.
Yeah.
Really sets the car.
Why don't we maybe just talk a little bit about what it is that you guys do, Jeff, to reinforce the bottom of these cars so that they're safe for the road and for the drag strip, for that matter?
Oh, absolutely. You know, we talked about how proud we were of the testing and the results that we got through Roush Engineering and the NVH. So what does it actually take to keep a car to be rigid, strong, after you cut the roof off, when the roof is such an integral part of the structure? Well, as you can see down here, we'll run some 1x2 the full length of the car, from wheel well to wheel well. But it is not just that. We come across, we tie our sides together, but then we also have our diagonals. Anytime you're talking about strength, it always has to do with angles. And most of our forces will come through the car diagonally. Okay. So again, that's why we take this, so that we're actually transferring these forces through the car.
Got it.
So we'll come both sides.
Sure.
On this side, you can see we have some of these other braces that are tying from our outside rail to some of the actual body. And this is the open side. You'll kind of see what it looks like here.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
When we're done with this, we're actually taking an 1/8" plate and then actually trying to box this whole front end.
Okay.
Majority of your vibration and your cowl shake will come from this area.
Got it.
So this is why we've taken such length to make sure that we eliminate that cowl shake that is inherent in any convertible.
Got it. Okay. So you guys do quite a bit to the underside of this, and you've got more stuff to kind of go on this side of the car as well, kind of get everything up and sealed. So this is just part of the process to make this car kind of ready to rock and roll and really make it safe for the road.
Yes, and actually when we're done here, we'll clean it up and then we come back and paint everything, obviously. We use a POR 15 paint. Very strong. It won't rust. It won't look bad over the years. So being able to use that paint, we've tried a few of them over the years, and that's really what we stick with. The other thing that you'll actually see in here is look how often we're tied in. We don't go very far in between tie-in points.
Right.
So that's one of the other things that gives us the strength.
Sure. Yeah. A lot of welding on the bottom of this thing. So you guys do your work with it. Awesome, man. Well, let's go take a look at this special project you've been telling me about. What do you think?
Okay, let's do it.
Let's go look.
Okay.
Take a look at all these beautiful cars he has out here. All of these cars already have the understructure put in them, and you can see he's got a whole bunch of them. All of these are ready to come in, and the cutting is going to begin on these things shortly. And this is only a fraction of the cars he actually has out here getting ready to undergo this process. Well, Jeff, I'm standing right next to something pretty darn cool. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what's under the cover here, because this is the project you were telling me about, and I'm pretty excited to see it. So.
Well, when it's under the cover, you can't always tell what's here.
Right, exactly.
This will kind of give you a little bit of
idea. It's a demon. 170. Yeah. You're making a convertible 170.
Making a convertible 170. And the first question I'm going to get is, who's going to be crazy enough to do this to a Demon 170?
Yeah.
Well, I'll start with I am. This is my car.
Okay.
So this is the first 170 that we will do. And I just want people to know, if you're crazy enough to do this, I'm going to do it on mine first.
Well, of course.
I can't convince somebody else to do it if I wouldn't put my money where my mouth is. So this is my Demon, and we're doing this one first, and you're going to get a chance to see the money shot. We're going to take the roof off this thing today.
You guys are literally getting ready to cut on this car here in just a few minutes.
Yes. We have a few other things that we do, even on the interior. We reinforce the B-posts inside. You will see it over here and on this side. And that keeps the sides of this car intact.
Yeah.
Before we go and remove the roof.
Okay.
When it comes in here, when we're ready to do it, we have our scribe lines, so every car gets cut in the same place every time.
Right.
So you may not see all of this in here, but this is the from our jigs. We'll lay on here, get our lines, our cut lines here and here, and bring that around, and then we have some interior cuts. There's 3 layers in here, so each layer gets cut at a different place.
Sure.
So the first thing that we'll do, come in here, have our mark. We'll remove the roof. We'll come in here on our B post and then come to our sail panel a little high.
Okay.
And then you'll see as we come through here, we come down to our cut lines.
Got it. So you've already done a bunch of work to get ready to do this. So now you guys are actually going to get to see Jeff's Demon get the entire lid cut off, so to speak. You ready to get it?
Absolutely.
Let's check it out. I want to see it.
Okay.
All right, all the cuts are done. Take a look. Oh, here it goes. There's just a piece of 170 just straight being pulled off the car. Boy, that is just a really weird thing to see. So we actually have a car that you just pulled the roof off of, right? So what actually happens now?
At this point, this is what we call all of our interior cuts. So the roof has been removed.
Yep.
And you can see it where we're raw in here.
Yep, I can kind of see. I'll show everybody what that looks like. Yeah, that's That's interesting.
This is where our fabricators will come in and we start rebuilding and putting our structure in.
Yeah.
Obviously, inside of our header, we reinforce. We have 1/4-inch steel that goes in here.
Okay.
And we'll fill this up. We'll plate on here and give you a surface, as well as our shelf. We call it table.
Okay.
With a convertible top to sit on.
Yep.
You can see back in through here, we have additional cutouts, and you'll see a few extra holes drilled in.
Yeah, I do.
So what we do here, we have some reinforcement that hold the quarter panel, and then inside we have to have room for our window regulators.
Got it.
One of the things that's really important in this is we have power windows.
Okay, yep.
So you're actually a true hard top style. So you can drive down the top up, all 4 windows down if you want.
All right, so this is actually the next stage, right? So you got the roof cut off, and now we're at this this other stage. Tell us about this next stage of the convertible production, so to speak.
This is where what we call our fabrication part. This is where we start putting our design pieces into the car, and we start our rebuild process.
Sure.
As you can see in here, a lot goes in. You'll notice you have 1-inch square tube that ties these shock towers together.
Yep.
That's part of it. Obviously, you get a lot of stability in there. You know, the racer background. I mean, you guys are tying those things together anyway.
Of course.
So, as we're going forward with making this car strong again, you'll notice this is what we call our seat back.
Yeah.
Again, more 1-inch square tube. It ties it together. We have our jig in place that holds all of our top mechanisms in there.
So purple stuff's all jig stuff that you guys have to put in there to get all the welds and everything correct.
Right.
Yep.
And so that's holding it in. But besides just across the car, part of our top structure goes down inside these wheel wells. So what we do is we tie this all together, all the way across the car, back down the other side, and we kind of build a horseshoe.
Yeah.
And that's what gives us a lot of stability and structural support. Just with our own top mechanism.
Not to mention what you've done to the underside of the car.
Exactly. Underneath here is our additional steel that we support, and we build this header back up with. And then, of course, in here, see, we come across here with our steel. You have your channel that has been. We take that out, obviously, and we weld in here.
Yeah.
So you never want to just fill that in with mud or Bondo.
So a lot of what you guys do is actually even better than it would come from the factory.
That's our goal, absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's
great. We want
great.
it to look like it came right from the factory, but when we tear it apart and we can make improvements, that's what we try to do.
So there you go. The top of the 170 has officially been cut off. Now, as I've already showed you, they have a lot of different stations that this car has to go to. I already showed you that station over there where he's working on that piece of it. Obviously, then it comes on over here, which I showed you, and there are multiple other steps in the process, but this is the first major step. The 170 no longer has a roof. I'm still kind of trying to take it all in. I know some of you guys are probably like, what in the world? And then some of you guys are probably like, that's super cool. And then there's probably a whole bunch of mixed feelings about it. All right, well, now that we've seen your Demon 170 and the roof came off of, that was a weird thing to look at, man. So right here, you've got one of your 1320 cars that's already finished. And I thought I would give you an opportunity to talk about why you chose to cut the top off of a Demon 170. Because I know what people are gonna say, right? They're gonna say, hey, look, that car's made for racing. It is the baddest muscle car of all time. Why would you make it a convertible? Well, tell me what your thoughts were in doing that with a 170, because I know you're going to get a bunch of different comments on it.
I'm sure I'll get a lot of comments on it, but you know what? This is what it's about, being unique, okay? Yeah, it's a 170, it's the baddest car ever made. And now I'm going to have the baddest convertible ever made.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a race car. Well, this is the 1320.
It is.
Take a little peek here. We're almost done with this one. It's about ready to go through our final QC and cleanup. And this is what it looks like. So you asked me, why would I do a Demon 170? Well, take a look at this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to have when I'm done, but it's going to be a 170.
Yeah, that'll be a pretty interesting thing. So from a race perspective, I mean, you're doing a lot to the underside of that car to really make sure, because I mean, we're talking about a car, I own one, I've talked to you about how fast it is, right? I mean, you know how fast it is. And I mean, you had to do a lot to the underside of that car to make sure that it was going to be able to hold 30-foot wheelies, and do all the crazy things a 170 does, but you're confident that that car will hold up under all those stresses.
I'm very confident the car is going to hold up. Will it be as fast as your car? No. I am going to be adding some weight. I have to. It comes out of the roof. We're going to have the exact figures for you. I weighed this car before it was stripped.
Right.
Same car, same scale, certified scale. I'm going to tell you exactly how much we put in it.
Okay.
But will it be exactly as fast? Will it be a little heavier? It will. But you know what? It'll be a convertible.
That's true. So you're thinking, when we talked earlier, maybe somewhere around that 200 pounds is about what it's going to weigh more than a normal 170, right? Is that about in the ballpark?
Right. But we'll have the exact figures. But we're looking at about 200 pounds more.
Okay, so from a safety perspective, do you feel like the car will be as safe, or are you going to race the car? I mean, tell me how you feel about all that.
Oh yeah, I'm going to race the car.
Seeing a convertible 170 going down the track.
You're going to see a convertible going down the track.
That is cool.
And I am very confident that it's going to be safe. Okay?
Yeah.
We tell everybody, keep the rubber side down.
Of course.
All right. So no, we don't have a roll bar in this thing. You don't have the same structure that you have. I mean, this is soft. Okay?
Yep.
That's part of what we like.
Right.
All right. I can put my top down. I can feel the wind in my hair.
Yep.
And I can hear that 170 roar behind me.
Yeah, it's going to be a very special build for sure. Now, you do have a couple other customers that are doing Demon builds with you as well, right?
Yes. I did a couple of the 18s, and I have about 4 of them lined up right now to do.
Wow.
So obviously, I'm not the only crazy one.
We're all a little crazy, aren't
Yes.
we?
One of the things that Tim really pushed for us before we got the opportunity to build these 4 Dodge is he wanted to know that these things were going to hold up, that they're going to be as good as a factory convertible. He was telling me he was amazed at how much hate mail he gets. No matter what decision he makes, there's a naysayer.
Always.
Okay? Are there going to be naysayers on the 170? Absolutely. But I'll tell you, the reason I'm confident is I took one of my conversions and went head-to-head against a factory Mustang and Camaro convertibles. We put accelerometers, we measured noise, vibration, harshness, what they call NVH.
Yep.
And we went through that. We went through our testing head-to-head against a factory Camaro and Mustang convertibles. We measured the rundown, vibration, body flex, and we were as good or better than the factory convertibles.
Really?
We beat the Camaro significantly in some of the areas that it matters to the driver. How much vibration do you feel through your seat? What's coming up there? That's your feel.
Yeah.
Going over the railroad tracks with the Mustang, just annihilated the Mustang in steering wheel vibration.
Sure.
So yeah, I feel very confident. We did this over time. I've been building convertibles since 1976. We're the oldest conversion company in the country. We've learned a few things over those years, and everything we have learned we put into this Challenger convertible.
That's awesome. That is awesome stuff. So you guys do it right. That's the great thing about it.
We do, and we actually have some documentation to back that up now.
All right, so the next logical step after we get the jig and do all that good stuff is we come to this station. What do we do here?
This is what we call the middle of our finish stage. So as we come in here, you can see all of our structure is in. Everything's been painted.
Yeah.
So there's no raw metal. We have no corrosion issues. And we just run the rest of our wiring through here. And we're just doing some of our adjustments before we put our wells, splash shields, and window regulators in.
Got it. Okay, so you can see it's starting to come together, sort of, right? But we've got another step in this building too, don't we?
Another step in this building is now we're over here, and we have our rear window placed in, our tethers, more of our structure is in, and we have our splash shields in, keeps all the water away, and we're just getting our window regulators in place.
Okay. So you can see, I mean, it's a process to take these cars to convertibles. I mean, it's not like you guys just cut the top off and call it a day, right?
No, an awful lot goes into this. As well as you see our well liner in here.
Yeah.
This is just another safety barrier. In case any water does come in, we can control it. And it also keeps the ride quiet with the top up.
Got it.
And as you can see here, now we have some of our trunk carpets back in. We're about ready to put our trunk hinges back on and then mount our trunks.
And through the magic of editing, you can see we have a car with the top on it now. So obviously we've evolved. We now have a convertible top. So what's been done to get to this stage?
Well, just after the stage you saw over there where the rear window is in, then we'll come in and we'll put our top on. So this is our first stage. Our headliner is in,
Yep.
Our pad is in, our top is on, and from this point, we're gonna send it over to paint and paint the header.
Got it.
As we talked about before, luckily the only thing we have to paint on the car is this area here. So we'll go through here, we'll do solid color through here. This gives us a great area to blend, and then we'll clear coat the whole thing. So you have a very good color match, a beautiful place to blend, and it looks like it was never
Like
touched.
it never happened. Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, it's neat to see how these things evolve at each step of the game. And I kind of like, I mean, you can see it creates a lot of dust and a lot of different things in the air. I mean, this is a process that you guys have to do to get these cars. And then, of course, you get them cleaned up and they're beautiful when they come out of here and they look like straight off the showroom floor. I think that's so cool.
Right, that's one of the things we do is we make sure that it's clean, and then we ship them to the dealers in an enclosed carrier.
All right, so we're actually right next to a factory production finished model, so to speak, right, Jeff? So tell me a little bit about the final product here and maybe why somebody would consider going the convertible route.
Well, this gives you a good chance to see what it looks like when we're done.
Sure.
We go to great lengths to make this look like it came right from the factory.
Sure.
Even right down to the material we use for the top. This is a twill fast material that is actually OEM material.
Yeah.
You see everything is heat sealed. We come down here, we give you a power quarter window, which is something that you just don't get on these cars.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that just can't understand why we don't have that, but we have a power quarter window, and we have a true factory old hardtop style design.
Sure.
You can see this is a jump down window.
Yep.
So you see how that comes down? One of the things that people talk about in a convertible is, will they leak? Well, one of the things that really makes it good is to have a design that comes this way. So when you close this, you have the rubber that seals on all three sides of the glass.
Right.
You can see that pop back up.
Yep.
You go up, and not only are you sealing here,
Uh-huh.
the top comes over the edge, it gives it an umbrella.
Sure.
So you can be assured that you'll have years of a nice dry ride.
So it goes up into the rubber, and this acts kind of almost like a waterfall. It just kind of acts as an umbrella, as you mentioned, so it doesn't leak. And what about from up here? Does it, no leaking issues there as well, I would assume, obviously.
No leaking issues here either. As you go across there, we have rubber. We have a bulbous rubber that is on the car side, and then there's a rubber on the top. So you have a nice tight seal. A water channel here.
Sure.
We built so many of these. We know what you can't stop, you control.
Okay.
And that's the whole premise behind a dry convertible.
Got it.
Is the water you can't stop, you control. And that's exactly what we do through here.
Sure, and you even mentioned to me like a sunroof would probably leak, be a lot more apt to leak than this would.
I've had sunroofs that leak, my convertibles don't.
They don't leak, so that's great to hear. And this is actually a power roof. I want to make sure people understand that. Like, it's not something you have to get out and fold down yourself or whatever. It's done hydraulically.
It is done hydraulically. We have some manual latches at the front, kind of 70s style latches. They're bulletproof, they don't break. Then a simple button, it goes down in seconds. You don't have to get out and fold it, tuck it. It folds away, it goes down nice and low.
Right.
One of the things when we design it ourselves, we know what, it's got to look right with the top down as well. All right, now if you can see, we have the line. We are so close to the factory line.
Yep.
And we great lengths to get it.
Sure.
So you don't want it to look like a toad with the top up. Almost anything can look good
I've
with the
seen
top
them.
down.
Yeah.
You get the line off, and you wish you hadn't.
Right. Well, 100%.
So we come back through here. We have a nice finish through here. We don't have to paint anything on the car other than around the windshield.
Okay.
So we don't go into the factory paint anywhere. We have our own trim rings. And if you look back here, we also have a heated rear glass window.
Heated glass in the convertible top. Guys, check it out. My buddy Tom actually came and said hi today as well. And he has had his convertible now for the better part of like 6 years. He's got all sorts of custom touches all over this. So I appreciate you coming and saying hi to me today, buddy. Boy, what a good looking car. So how do you like your convertible? I mean, is this something you really have enjoyed since you've done it? And like no issues? It's just something you've really
The seats broke in for my wife. And we go everywhere in the world. And if it's good weather, the top goes down and we're going.
Oh man, so you've really enjoyed the convertible experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you got a beautiful looking car, my friend. A lot of little custom touches on this car. And he actually helped introduce me to these folks here, and they've been very nice. So I really appreciate your help with it, buddy. But I just wanted to show your car because you sent me so many pictures of it, and it's neat to kind of finally see it in person. Just for reference, take a look at the line on this car. I thought it was kind of interesting looking at it from this angle. You can see it here, and then take a look at this one right over here. You can kind of see the way that it sweeps back, run you back over here to the convertible version, and you can see how close the line is on that. They worked very hard on this design. So as I don't gloss over it, I know a lot of people will ask questions about how much trunk space you retain with this design. And you can see it does actually have a functional trunk in it. You could definitely put a set of golf clubs, maybe 2 back here. This is actually the cover for the boot. You can see actually right over here on Tom's car, this thing right here. So that's actually what that is right there. But it does actually retain quite a bit of functionality in the trunk as well. It might be a little hard to see on camera, but they actually have this piece that kind of rises up, and you can see that the convertible would tuck down in here. It's really easy to see from this angle. This is a piece that you obviously have to have for the convertible. You're not going to see it on normal cars. And you can see they actually move the antenna from the roof, which would normally be up here, and they have to put it back here. So they do have to move quite a few things around and add a few little custom touches to the outside on these cars as well. You can see right here you've got little hooks. You had to disengage the hooks right here so that the convertible top will actually go down, but we've already got them disengaged. Let's see what it looks like with the top going down. All right, now we're actually in the convertible Challenger, and it does feel just a little bit different to sit in here, but not all that dissimilar from a normal Challenger. But I want to see what it feels like when you actually take the top down on this. So we've already disengaged the hooks, like I mentioned. So what is kind of the next thing we need to do here?
Next thing we're going to do is run down the power quarter windows.
Okay.
So we'll get those down.
Oh, you can see them going down right back behind my head here. Okay.
And then the next thing, let's run the top.
All right. Sun is coming right in here, guys. Now we're getting all the sun. It does feel pretty weird to sit in a Challenger with the sun on my face. I've never been a big convertible, guys. Many of you guys know that, but it is kind of different to sit in this car. But he's not lying. I'm sitting here looking at all the lines on this, and it literally looks like something that would have come completely out of the factory. You guys really did an amazing job when you guys designed this car. It looks really good. We should take this thing down the road. What do you think?
Let's show you the best part.
Let's go check it out. Now, you guys know me. I'm a racer. Never been big into convertibles at all. He's getting after it. The experience is a little different, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
There is some appeal to it. I can't lie about it.
See, now you got the blue skies.
A full roller coaster mode.
You asked me why I wanted to do a convertible on a Demon 170. This is the answer.
Well, we have arrived back at Droptop Customs. Man, that was a lot of fun. We just went for a little blast in the convertible. I will say it does feel a little different, and you can really hear the exhaust a little bit more with the convertible. So I can definitely see the appeal of it. I cannot wait to see your 170.
Absolutely.
When you get it all done. I'm going to come back up when it's done, and we'll spend a little time in the car, and maybe we'll have some fun in the car when you get it all done.
Sounds good.
What do you
Look
think?
forward to it.
Thank you very much for showing me the company.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it, buddy. So go check out Droptop Customs on their website. What is your website?
Droptopcustoms.com.
That's it. Easy as that. And that about does it for my day at Droptop Customs. A huge shout out to Jeff and the rest of his staff. They are fantastic people, great to work with. And I will freely admit, I had no idea how much really went into making a convertible Challenger. Just like it would come from the factory, they really have it down to an art here. I mean, they've got all sorts of cars, as you saw in the video. I mean, they've got cars everywhere, beautiful wide body Hellcats and Scat Packs and all sorts of stuff. and he's making a Demon 170 into a convertible. Now, I know that's probably going to be a pretty controversial subject with a lot of people. Many of you guys know, I mean, being a racer, it's kind of like the opposite of what you would really want to do. I know Dodge said that they didn't even want to make a sunroof in the car. And here you have Jeff taking his own personal car and making it into a convertible. But there's also something pretty cool about the fact that he's kind of going out there and making the baddest production muscle car ever made into a convertible. It seems perfectly fitting for somebody that does this for a living and has kind of built his brand and his company around that. So really, really cool stuff. And I will mention one other thing. I know for a fact that they are already working on plans for the 2024 Chargers. So yes, they will be offering the 2024 Chargers in a convertible. All of that stuff is in the works right now. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to have a car in the not too distant future that they're going to start working on. And then it will be an option, right? So you'll be able to order it from Dodge, or you'll be able to send your car directly to these guys. So they will continue to work with Dodge on the convertible piece of it for the foreseeable future. And with this brand new 2024 Charger platform, I'm really looking forward. They actually have a rendering on their website. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing how that is all going to play out there as well. But let me know what you guys think about the convertible Challenger. Would you go convertible? It definitely changes the driving experience. I will freely admit that. And there's something pretty cool about that. And also, what do you think about a convertible Demon 170? I'd love to hear it in the comments down below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.